You talk about people are going to put those two things together, the robbery and the murder, and in their mind it washes it out and everything. And so what this is another one of those stories that reveals who you are. Right? So it's very much like the Gaza thing. It's very much like the Trayvon Martin thing. It reveals the kind of person you are and the values you have, right? So if you are prone to be a racist or authoritarian, you're going to look at the news film. You're going to go, hey, look, those kids are rioting. They burned down a Quick Trip. They did something else. You got to get military out there. You got to do that. But if you're a normal person like myself, you look at it, you go, oh, they're 99% peaceful protesters, and these guys come out in military tanks and train rifles at their chest. That's not right. That's intimidation. That's not policing. So this one of those situations reveals who you are. However you can find whatever you want in this story. You can find he was a thug, a black criminal. They're all criminals. Cops are good. He got attacked. They were burning down their own city. You can find anything you want in this. But the facts are, a guy was unarmed, 10 bullets were spent, and then the cops came out with tanks and overreacted, and they shot canisters at Al Jazeera on purpose. They arrest the reporter. It's the worst of the policing that we could ever seen, okay? So this story reveals who you are.
Yeah. So that's a very interesting point. And I think that in the case of Michael Brown, since he's 35 feet away, according to not just the witnesses, but the cops also say he was 35 feet away when he got shot and killed the last time around.
Why were they comfortable sharing that piece of information?
I know, that's crazy. Right. And every witness says he had his hands up, and unarmed. And the cop said he was reaching for his gun, so he knows he doesn't have a gun, right? So we know he's unarmed, we know he's 35 feet away, we know he's got his hands up, and we know he got shot anyway, right? So it doesn't matter why he got shot if you're a reasonable person. You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter that he had gone and done a strong-armed robbery, which, by the way, Michael Schur made a very good point about that, means an unarmed robbery. So he doesn't have a weapon, so you're not worried about your life, right? And so, and to me, I think, well, if I saw what Michael Brown did in that grocery store, it pisses me off, and I don't like that, and I would have hoped that he would get arrested over that, right? But I also didn't want him executed in the streets, and I also know that the cop didn't even know about that robbery, right? So if you're jumping on either side and trying to, like, either side, not meaning that there's an equivalency here, but if you say, Michael Brown, that's no big deal, come on, people do robberies all the time, okay, I wouldn't say that either, right? But at the same time, Jimmy's right. If you're okay with the execution, there's some chance there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Is that a terrible thing to say?
No, you don't share the values that this country professes to share. Innocent until proven guilty.
I think the danger of saying that there's something wrong with you, and I like it a lot better than Michael Brown than in some of your other examples, which I think are flawed. But you have to be outraged at Michael Brown's death. You have to be. I agree completely. Then when you turn, if in this case, and it doesn't seem like there could conceivably be a defense for the cops, but in a different case, there could be a moment where you're like, I'm outraged by that, it's got to stop. I wouldn't necessarily put that police officer in prison. I don't think that necessarily makes you a bad person. Has to, on some level. In this case, since we don't know,
right,
and the fact is we don't know indicates that the facts do not support the police,
right,
or clearly when they get a piece of information they cannot wait to frickin' share it with us. Yeah. It would indicate that when the information comes out, it's not going to reflect well on Darren Wilson.
People vilified Trayvon Martin.
Yes,
he had not just he didn't steal the Skittles or the iced tea, but people still called him. They to this day call him a thug and all that.